And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2026 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNDK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You've got used to one segment of good takes in the morning, but now there's a full show of good takes at night. Welcome into Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, welcome back in at Ticket Weeknights. This is Raff's Good Take on Sports, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. You guys can join in. 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line. We got Chris Raff streaming all the way from Alabama per usual. Chris Raff, how's it going on a chilly Thursday night?
It's going, Harrison. It dawned on me. The realization is hit. Football season over. Is almost over, and
the same
thing.
Thing.
It's really like hitting home this weekend because there's no games this weekend. Is the Pro Bowl this weekend?
Dude, I'll be honest. Do you care to watch it that much?
Well, no, but I was just. I think that's during the week now. I think they have like the little 2-day spectacular with the dodgeball and all that other stuff that takes place, but. Yeah, that realization, it hits home quite strikingly. And thinking about it, it's just like, man, there's one more game and it's finished for another year. I'm going to have to maybe take the Nick Wyman approach and figure when the CFL and the UFL and all those other leagues get started, I'm going to have to get my fix of football or something like that. But man, and then usually I'm, into the golf, but golf, that bug really doesn't hit me too much until the Masters. Mm-hmm. But I was looking today, Brooks Koepka returned back to the PGA Tour today, and he is promptly sitting at +1 after the first day. He is 11 strokes behind the leader, so I don't know if there's going to be a charge there or not to make a run for a victory on his first tour tournament since he left to go to live. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm deprived. I made myself depressed.
Yeah, it's funny because I had that exact same realization over the weekend. You know, you get done with NFL playoffs, and then we're sitting there talking about it, and I was like, well, there's gonna be no NFL games to look forward to this weekend. And obviously, college football's over, and I looked it up. The Pro Bowl's on Tuesday, this next week. Meh. I don't think anyone really gives a whole lot of hoots about that one anymore because they've taken a lot of the meaning out of it. But yeah, I think I'm just going to really lean into being a college baseball junkie. I think that's my path this year.
Okay.
I've been watching a lot more Big Ten baseball, but maybe I'll take some time and try to catch all the SEC and ACC games as well, because I feel like the Nebraska baseball's got a good chance to do something special. So maybe I'll just kind of fully deep dive into that. And who knows? Maybe I'll turn on CFL. Time zones aren't that different.
Yeah, and also too, I think I became a little bit of a basketball snob, where it's like I only care about Nebraska, and the rest of the teams can worry about Nebraska. So I don't really get too enthralled with any other games going. You know, usually around this time of the year, you're starting to maybe latch your wagon to somebody else just because you're like, well, Nebraska's probably not going to be there when the tournament starts, so maybe I better find a cheering interest. And this year, it's all Nebraska. I'm putting all my chips on the table, and I'm going to roll with Nebraska.
Yeah, I kind of had that too. I'll still watch. Like I was watching BYU in Arizona, and it was 13. I think it was 13 ranked BYU at home versus the number 1 Arizona, and that was the day before Nebraska played Michigan. So of course I want to see, does the number 1 team pull this off? Because then we're down 2-2. Unfortunately, it was Nebraska that lost. So now it's Arizona and Miami, Ohio. But even just watching that game, like it was a good game. It was really close at the end there. But I'm also become a little bit of a snob. I'm like, man, it doesn't look as clean as that Fred Hoiberg offense, though. I'm just like watching. Well, you guys might have some better talent and size at positions, but you know the offense doesn't look as pretty. So I'm kind of with you. I'm totally enthralled by Husker hoops because what they're doing. It says a lot about the entire staff, from Nate Lenzer to Fred Hoiberg to the players on the court. It is a very beautiful product to watch right now. And I think nationally that's kind of agreed upon now. I don't know how many announcers I've heard use the example of young kids need to watch this Nebraska team for X, Y, and Z reasons because they just know how to play basketball. So I'm not too far off you when it comes to being a little bit of a Husker hoop snob because we do have it that good over here.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at it this weekend. So they play at 3:00 on Sunday. I believe it's FS1 whiteout, I believe. So everybody decked in their best whites for their Sunday whites. So it should be an electric atmosphere at the vault, the PBA. I got a little traction there when I said paint the vault red lettering on top of the PBA. I got a little Twitter traction. People were starting to retweet it. I saw Troy Dannon got tagged in a few of the posts. So maybe here soon, maybe we can get that paintbrush out and get the vault painted on top of the PBA. And I will say that was all my idea, and I will take full credit for it.
I'll retweet it for you. I'll hop on that bandwagon. I didn't see that.
Yeah, so it should be a good day for Nebraska basketball. 3:00 game. Give people a chance to get down there. Maybe go down on Saturday and kind of make a little weekend of it, and head back to work on Monday. So yeah, but this whole no football thing, it's got me a little frazzled, and I'm gonna have to cope with this. What are like our listeners? What else? Everyone listening right now, what do you guys do now that football season is over? Is there something you go to? Or do you fall back on college basketball? Do you make the switch? Do you go CFL? I mean, what? I don't know. It's just I gotta find a hobby or something. I mean, I guess
464-5685. What do you guys do with your time in life when there's not football? Because we all, most of our listeners kind of rotate around that schedule, whether it's right or wrong to do so. I know we're all guilty of it a little bit. Unfortunately, I can't say I've been the productive member of society who's like, I'm going to go pick up a hobby and, go collect trash when I have time off. I just usually, like I said, I just go find another sport to dive into. Usually it's been NBA, but I've kind of talked about NBA before. It's lost a little bit of its shine. I'll still watch it, some of the bigger games, of course, and follow up when you have some great storylines. But, I'd rather watch some collegiate baseball if I had to pick between the two. And college baseball, I'll even watch, shout out Big Ten. You guys do a horrible job on some of these broadcasts. I will say that. I'll even watch the all aerial view where it's just one camera angle and it's in the box and that's all you get. I'd still rather watch that than, say Hornets. Well, Hornets are good right now. Say two bad teams. We'll go Pelicans and Utah Jazz. Like I'll never watch that over a horribly broadcasted college baseball game. I'd still take the baseball game in the press box.
Does Nebraska, does the baseball season start into February or middle of February, or when does their season kick off? I'm pretty sure that it's down in Arizona. I believe they kick off the season, but I'm not sure of the exact date. So I guess maybe Nebraska baseball will have to be maybe it'll be my new calling, I guess you'd say, because February, we're technically almost into February. It's just such a tough month, like even weather-wise. Like it's chilly outside. You can't go out and really play golf. You can't really go out and smoke a cigar. My hands are cuffed here. I've got to find other options.
Yeah, well, you don't have to wait too long. February 13th. That is Nebraska baseball's first game. And you're right. It is at Arizona. Obviously, way too cold to be playing up here anywhere in the Midwest. So nothing new. They hit these tournaments to start the year every time. So it's Connecticut and Northeastern, Grand Canyon, Stanford, all at Arizona. Then they have Texas where they go Louisville, Kansas State, Florida State. And then they go hit Auburn, and they play Auburn 3 times in a row. And then we're back at Hawks Field on March 3rd.
Nice. And then Nebraska softball looks like they're going to be pretty stout this year. So I'm excited to see, what Jordy Ball's got in the store. Looks like she's got her eyes set on another national championship. So if she's got her eyes set on a national championship, that means Nebraska softball's got their eyes set on a national championship. So hopefully it'll be an exciting season for them this year.
Yeah, the softball team, I think a lot of people are pretty confident that they'll at least make a regional again, and it's trying to get out of that super regional. Can you make it to that series? But for the men's side, I don't know. What are your expectations? Because the men's baseball is interesting because 2 years ago they were pretty awesome, stellar. They win the Big Ten tournament, and they were kind of one of the heavier opponents in there, favored to win it. Last year they weren't favored whatsoever, but they still managed to pull it off and go back-to-back Big Ten champions.
I think every year, I think it comes to the same thing. I think what your pitching rotation is, if they're able to stay healthy, it seems like Nebraska how battles that injury bug. It was last year where they lost their number one guy, or am I getting my?
Yeah,
last
no,
year?
you're right. Yeah. They were really hurting in the pitching room.
So if they can stay healthy with the pitching, it seems like their hitting's usually pretty decent. So I look for any team with Will Bolt. He comes from. I get caught in the lineage. I really do, and it's like Will Bolt being underneath Dave Van Horn for all those years. Every time Dave Van Horn rolls out a baseball team, they're competitive, and I feel the same way. For Will Bolt, I think so. I think there's a successful season on the horizon for Nebraska baseball, but it depends a lot on if they're able to keep their pitching staff healthy. That's the big thing in college baseball is pitching.
Yeah, health inclined. The thing is, like, the Big Ten just isn't that good at baseball. We've added some of these West Coast schools that should be a little bit more competitive, but in all honesty, like, Nebraska's kind of in a position where I want them to kind of be the lead dog when it comes to setting the expectation for Big Ten baseball. You kind of did it with back-to-back Big Ten championship trophies, because Oregon was nothing to scoff at last year, and that was an impressive win that they got over them. But as long as they're kind of hovering in there, being one of the more elite teams in the Big Ten, because like we see it, they just don't get a ton of respect and credit for being in that conference. It's not the worst conference out there, don't get me wrong, but when you're looking at especially the SEC and the way they dominate and some of the ACC schools, Nebraska needs to kind of put themselves in a position that we run baseball in the Midwest. And I think that's totally achievable.
I was going to say, I will say this right now: beat Creighton
and Omaha.
Yes. No drop at any games with those guys. Man, that is the worst. Hate that.
It's happened 2 years in a row as well, which is crazy. Like 2 years ago was really surprising. Last year, maybe you could have saw it, but still not what we have talent wise. You know, you don't really expect to drop those. And of course, that's usually how it starts off with us. We do get Omaha. That's that first game at home at the Haymarket. So you really don't want to drop that first one versus Omaha when you're home for your first game.
Yeah, no, they need to, you know, they've got to win. I mean, losing those in-state games, that's just such a deterrent, you know, just for the momentum. Like we've talked about the prior years where Nebraska's dropped midweek games and we've just been like, oh well, it's a midweek game. We save our big pitchers, you know, for the weekends. So as long as we win the weekends. I get that from a Big Ten standings view of it, but from a team momentum standing of it, it's like every time you step on the field, you should be ready to win, especially against those Creightons and those Omaha teams. You don't want to give them any confidence, and you definitely don't want them to, wear the crown in the state for the, the best baseball team in the state. So I hope Nebraska, takes care of business, on those midweek games against those teams, because just for the momentum of it, it seems like there's always just such a break in momentum not every year. Last year they did better in the midweek games, but I remember 2 years ago, it was just like every midweek game, Nebraska would drop it and they'd go into the weekend kind of with like that little bit of a questioning. Then they, usually have good, outings from their pitching staff. But so hopefully this year they can put it all together, win the midweek games, win the weekends. And, Nebraska is due. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but Nebraska is due for some postseason baseball at Hawks Field at Haymarket. They need a regional, super regional. They need some postseason baseball, because if you want to see electricity, you should watch some postseason baseball. Nebraska baseball fans. I mean, we've seen it with volleyball, we're seeing it with basketball, and you'll see it again. I guarantee you, the berms will be packed if Nebraska baseball was able to host a regional or a super regional or something like that.
Well, we've seen it back-to-back years in that Schwab Field, right? Like Nebraska, not only for the championship game, but it's like day one, that place is red.
Yeah.
And they're there to watch Nebraska baseball. Day two, place is still red. I mean, it does not matter if it's the first round. Obviously, the championship is going to have more buzz to it. But Nebraska fans love their baseball when those guys are out there winning. And Haymarket Park, I've seen some of the other Big Ten fields. Haymarket Park's a beautiful pitch or field that we got out there. So if you can get that place rocking, oh, are you kidding me, Raff? I think this place might be more of a baseball city than people realize that time.
Oh, and I've heard, this is probably one of my greatest regrets over like the past 2 or 3 years, is I've heard the tailgating is really getting good out there before baseball games. So
hey,
so that's huge. So I know my guys, they go down and tailgate before games. So you go down for a Nebraska baseball game, you get the whole everything. Just like a Nebraska football game, you get the tailgate beforehand, and you get to go watch baseball. And I believe we're able to drink alcohol in Hawks now, so you've got everything.
I did it last year, Raff, and they didn't, handcuff me. I had a couple beverages, so I know it's definitely legal.
Boy,
up there. No, it's phenomenal. We do got this one. We'll bring my brother Everett in here, because this is a problem that's ailed my family, and he wants to know, Raff, give us your best pitch to get my dad, shout out Chuck Arns, to a baseball game in Haymarket this spring. He's the Debbie Downer. We've been trying to get him to come to a baseball game. He's not likes to travel too far from home kind of guy. Okay. And he's not the biggest baseball fan either, but what's the pitch? Well, let's get Haymarket sold for as many games as possible.
The weather's nice. Does he like to tailgate? Does he like to partake in a beverage?
Absolutely. I think that the whole family doesn't mind that.
Okay. What about wings? Does he like chicken wings, buffalo wings?
I don't. Yes, he's got some diet restrictions, but I think that flies.
Okay, you go to the end zone. No free shout outs, but I know the end zones. I know the end zone's got the wings. They usually have a pretty good pregame atmosphere down there. Go down to the end zone, get him some wings, take him down, walk him through the tailgates, partake in a couple beverages, go inside, have a hot dog, have a nacho, and he gets to see his favorite son.
Exactly. And, my brother Houston will probably put it all on his tab. So there you go. If Houston's listening, he'll pay for my pops. And, he might even put my mom on the tab as well. So there you go. Free ticket. Houston, free. I'm sure he'll pay.
Yeah. I mean, that right there. I mean, I think that's the selling point right there. It's free. There you go.
Honestly, Raff, though, I will say that is probably one of my favorite events to go to is Husker baseball games. They are like, especially if you're trying to get in and out. Like for me, it works out great because I got to be coming out from work sometimes, trying to rush over there. It's not overly chaotic. And as far as skylines go, I know it's just Lincoln, Nebraska, but the way our field is set up is so great, especially when you start comparing it to a lot of the other Big Ten fields. They're not great. Like no one really. There's a couple of good ones out there, but Nebraska is kind of a special place when it comes to all these Big Ten venues. Haymarket's awesome. Like if you haven't gone there, it's not crazy expensive. If you go there on a nice day, the food's good. You got beverages there. Cannot sell that place enough. It is one of my favorite things to do in Nebraska is go to these baseball games lately.
Yeah, I grew up going to Buck Belzer Field. That's where my buddy's dad was a Big 8 umpire. So we'd go to all the Nebraska games at Buck Belzer Field. We've had Jeff Hendricks on a few times. He's umped in 7 College World Series. I mean, he got his start at Buck Belzer Field. So that was growing up. That's where we were at almost every single weekend. I saw Robin Ventura hit a ball so far that I still don't think it's landed yet. I mean, it was an absolute. I never saw a baseball travel further in my life with an aluminum bat. It was when it was going over the 400-foot mark, it was still going up. It was one of the greatest hits I've seen in my life. But yeah, Buck Belzer Field, that was a heck of a place to watch games. And then when they got, Hawks Field and what they've done there, it's just, it's a great place. It's great. I mean, that view, just having the football stadium in the background, the way it sits, it's a cool view. If you haven't been there, you definitely need to get down there and check it out.
Especially for the not Husker football, but just football junkies in general. Let's find ourselves a hobby, right? They say winter time of depression. Weather, seasonal depression? I think that's the term. Go invest yourself in some Husker baseball or gymnastics. Those guys are starting up too right now. So I know women's gymnastics, they got Ohio State this weekend. So that'll be a good one to check out. They did just upset Minnesota. So they've had some pretty good success. And we have Emma Spence. She hosts a show on the ticket. She's actually been calling. Well, she's called one of those events. Maybe she'll call some more. Nothing quite official yet, but there's some things to find. I think a lot of us, Raff, you're in this boat with me. Although you got one more game. That means a lot compared to everybody else with your Broncos in the Super Bowl. But
they're not in the Super Bowl.
Or excuse me, you're right. The Patriots.
I
just kind of ripped your heart out.
That hurts, man. Oh gosh. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've let it go. So it's crazy though. The Broncos season ending the way it did. I thought that they'd be looking for a new a new defensive coordinator and probably a new quarterbacks coach. But now the way it's looking, they're going to keep their defense coordinator, and they're probably going to need a new offensive coordinator, which that kind of caught me a little bit by surprise with Sean Payton. Dismissing, a coach that's been with him for, almost like 15 years, Joe Lombardi. So it'll be interesting in the offseason. I think what they'll probably do at first, I thought they were going to go with promote Davis Webb, but now it's like, I think they might be leaning towards, I forgot the guy's name. It's a guy that's coached with Curry, Ryan Curry, I believe. Yeah, he's went up through the ranks with Coach Payton. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there at offense coordinator for the Broncos. But even at the end of the day, it'll still be Sean Payton calling the plays, I'm sure. So,
well, let's talk a little bit about that carousel and some of the moves that are going to be happening. We got to throw it to break here, but we'll talk about some of the NFL coordinators, coaching positions. Don't go anywhere. This is Raff's Good Take on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes a complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Clear your calendar. It's a volleyball weekend in Omaha. Love Nebraska returns to Baxter Arena for back-to-back home matches on January 30th and February 1st, facing Love Madison and Love Austin. 2 matches, 2 chances to see your hometown team compete as the season heats up. Featuring Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson taking on the likes of Lauren Carlini and Maddie Skinner, and special moments throughout the weekend. This is your opportunity to catch all the action live. Make it one night or both nights. Get your tickets now at lobbneb.com/tickets.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? You haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get special financing as low as 1.9% for 12 months, then 6.2% interest for 48 months on select equipment. No auction, no waiting, just inventory price to move. Once it's gone, it's gone. Visit Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com. Then click on the featured used equipment and experience the Landmark difference.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Winter is upon us. Is your home prepared? If your furnace isn't keeping up or you've thought about replacing it, John Henry's has a new year, new unit special. When you purchase a select heating and cooling system from John Henry's, we will give you the furnace for free. There are also equipment and LES rebates up to an additional $850. This offer expires February 28th, so don't miss out. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back in Raff's Good Take on Sports, 93.7 The Ticket. Chris Raff, let's talk a little bit about the NFL coaching carousel. Which city, which franchise do you want to start with?
The Raiders.
Do you like it? Do you like the moves, Raff?
Well, I think right now they're in a standstill mode. I think they're going all in on Clint Kubiak. I think they're waiting patiently, and I think they're going to go all in on Clint Kubiak. Like so we talked earlier, a lot of the coaches have pulled out of the running for the Raiders job. So the sounds of it from around the NFL right now is the Raiders are going all in for Clint Kubiak. So we shall see. It'll be
15 minutes ago. Davis Webb reportedly bows out of Raiders head coach race. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought that was breaking about Kubiak. No, Kubiak is still the favorite. So
yeah. It'll hurt my heart a little bit just to see a Kubiak coaching the Raiders, being that Gary was such a successful head coach for the Broncos, winning a Super Bowl and backup quarterback for John Elway for 10 years and assistant coach for Mike Shanahan. But it looks like that's what the Raiders are going to do. So then if that's right, is it just the Cardinals now that need a coach?
Cardinals and the Raiders
are the two remaining, right?
Yeah, because the Ravens got Minter. Stefanski to the Falcons, which I'm not a fan of that.
And it sounds like the Cardinals might go Nathan Schillhouse, which is just kind of crazy. It's crazy to hear these names that it feels like we're just watching them play football like 5-10 years ago, because he was the quarterback for Illinois, I believe. And now he's on the verge of becoming a head coach in the NFL, which is pretty wild. I saw that Sean Mannion is going to be the new offense coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles next year. That would be 6 consecutive years, I believe, with the new offense coordinator for the Eagles. Crazy about that. Sean Mannion, it feels like just yesterday that he was, trying to be a backup quarterback in the NFL. He's from Oregon State. You might remember him. He was coached by the great Mike Riley. So it's interesting, seeing all these former quarterbacks that had, fairly decent college careers, tried to make it in the NFL's backups, but they became, coaches that are going to be, the next thing or the next name in coaching. So I would assume with Sean Mannion, if he's successful in Philadelphia, you'll see him, making a charge for a head coaching job here in the next couple of years.
Any of these hires feel like home runs so far to you? I thought Brady on the Bills was interesting. I'm actually warming up to McCarthy on the Steelers more and more. I'm not going to call it a home run, but I don't think it's as bad as maybe some people think. Obviously, John Harbaugh's a great hire. I think that's the easiest home run you can call out.
Yeah, I there. And then, man, I'm trying to think. Like, I think Kubiak for the Raiders would be a great hire, but it's the patience and what the Raiders will have in him. It's like, are they going to Raider and, run to the nearest exit, or are they going to give him, because it's going to take him, I would think 2 years at minimum just to get the culture and the way that he wants it, just because they've just been so out of kilter for so long. I mean, Pete Carroll, I didn't think a year would be long enough for him. And it felt like they just kind of lost their way, just at the end of the year, not, really having Geno didn't really work out the way they expected him to. So if they stick with Kubiak, I think that has a chance to be, a really good hire.
I got to stick with him though. To your point, that Raiders is such a broken job. Like, I'd be amazed if he gets 3 years, because that's going to be a bad football team for most likely. Obviously I like to say I'm an oracle. Sometimes I am, not all the time. And I don't think that team's going to be great for 2 years. Like, it's going to be a lot of losing still. That team, like, across the board, and now Crosby's probably on the way out. Like, you kind of got, what's the foundation of that place even? Mendoza, if you decide to draft him, sure, that's the foundation, I guess. But, there's so many pieces away.
And then also too, it's always been curious for me is Do you find it funny how some coaches constantly are being recycled and other coaches had like one opportunity and that was it? Like, look at Josh McDaniels, for instance, putting up MVP numbers with Drake May. You never heard, much of any peeps or any talks about him interviewing for a head coaching job. Vance Joseph is another one. He might possibly still be in play for the Cardinals, but I feel that if he was in play, they would have hired him already since the season ended last week, and they'd want to get him in place, in Phoenix. And those are two guys that come to my mind that it's just like they never really got a second chance to be a head coach. And then you have these other guys that are constantly being okay. McCarthy, for instance, you have another shot at it. So it's always the coaching carousel in the NFL is always so interesting to me, just to see how it plays out, who becomes the hot names. Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know Nathan Schulhouse was a coach, and then all of a sudden now he's like one of the next hot young up and coming coaches. So it's always interesting to Sean Mannion's another one where it's like I didn't really know. And then you're like, okay. So it's interesting to see just how these, and then Mike McDaniel, everybody's, garnering that as like an A+ offensive coordinator hire for the Chargers, but it was in Miami as the head coach and they couldn't get rid of him fast enough. It's amazing how quickly things change and the temperatures change for all these coaches.
Yeah. And then you got Hafsley down there. Well, I'll be curious to see what he's able to do for Miami now, but I mean, the offensive coordinator is always, because people were raving about Kelly when he joined the Raiders, thinking that was going to be a home run. And obviously, we all know how that Raiders offense turned out. Cliff Kingsbury went through a little bit. He was incredible. Then he got a head coaching gig. And then, okay, it didn't work out. Let me go back to the Commanders. And he's killing it there. And I think the Commanders let go of him, too. I think they fired him after this season,
which makes no sense to me with Daniels being injured most of last year. It's like, why wouldn't you try to create that magic again? Give Kingsbury one more year working with Daniels. It's
unless
always
they
so
had a falling out. Like I'm with you. Unless they had a falling out, I don't get it at all, because it wasn't just Jaden Daniels. Jeez, I almost forgot one of my biggest rivals. But it wasn't just. I mean, that team was hurt in multiple positions. It was similar to like how the Browns handled Baker Mayfield through his injury. You don't want to punish guys for things they can't control.
And I look forward, and then what happens with Kingsbury? Where does he land? Because you have to, if you look at his resume, he's had fairly successful offenses. So it's like you will see Kingsbury, wind up somewhere. I doubt he returns back to the college game, but stranger things have happened. I think he'll stay in the NFL, but I guess it's basically what he wants to do. I'm sure he's probably made enough money at this point of his career that if he wanted to retire, he could probably retire, and be a very wealthy man. So we'll see where he ends up next, but I would have to think that you'll see him pop up somewhere. If not an offense coordinator, he'll be a quarterbacks coach for somebody.
What do you feel better about, Raff? Do you like Jeff Hafsley for the Miami Dolphins or Stefanski for the Falcons? What's got better chance for success?
Can I take C? None of the above. I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I'm gonna say Stefanski with the Falcons. And the only reason why I'm saying this is I think Matt Ryan will probably be a fairly good executive vice president of football operations, but the way they've done it, they went so backwards. Like we saw tonight, they hired their general manager tonight. So who answers to who? So I assume what it is you hired your general manager, who was I got to make the connections here. How this goes? He was at Chicago. Ian Cunningham, I believe, he was at Chicago. He worked under Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles played offensive line with Matt Ryan at Boston College. So the way I'm looking at this is the connection, Ryan Poles to Matt Ryan to Ian Cunningham. So Matt Ryan technically is the head of football. And then both those coaches are probably one arm is your GM and the other arm is your head coach. So I don't think that the GM will have any power on who firing or hiring a head coach. That'll be all Matt Ryan. But the GM will probably be the guy that's, the talent acquisition with Matt Ryan being the yes or no guy. So I think right now, Stefanski, game day, coaching, but Matt Ryan is the guy that's pulling all the strings in that organization.
Yeah, I would assume so. I'm not going to doubt that too much. I'll give you this one. I feel good about both of these hires. And a quick correction, Halfley. I kept calling him Halfsley for the Miami Dolphins. It's Halfley. There is no S in his last name. So I know Jeff Halfley. He's a big listener. Apologies there. All right. Robert Saleh on the Tennessee Titans or Mike McCarthy on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who has better chance for success?
Mike McCarthy, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Is it close?
No.
Oh. Okay, so you're actually kind of gotten pretty high on the Mike McCarthy hire. Or is it just because the Steelers have maintained success for so long and they have that culture in place, even if, I think it would take a couple of years for McCarthy to erode it if he failed?
I think McCarthy's walking into a place that's ready to win. And I think that you're going to see Aaron Rodgers come back next year. I would be more surprised now if he does not return than if he does. So I think the Steelers are ready to go. Now, if you're asking me for like a 5 or 6 year outlook, then I might tend to go to Robert Saleh, but it's just a matter of, how, the progression of Cam Ward, because if you remember, the Titans defense is they're pretty good defense, but you're going to have to get that offense going. And remember, Saleh's a defensive coordinator by heart. So he's going to have to, find someone that's going to, like we always talk about, a good quarterbacks coach, a good offense coordinator to bring along the progression of Cam Ward, because as the quarterback usually goes in the NFL, that's how your team usually goes. So it's just a matter now of, what kind of coaching they get for Cam Ward and how he progresses through his second year, because if he, continues to progress and finds his footing, beware of the Titans, because they're going to have a stout defense no matter what. It's just a matter of the production of their offense.
Yeah, and they started to find a little bit of the rhythm. Dyke kind of came out of the woodwork, especially as the season went on there. Are you sold on Ward? Or I don't think I can say you're sold on him, but how much stock do you have in his play?
I think he's got all the tools to be successful, and he's got the commitment to the game to be successful. You saw bright spots out of him as the season went on. Like I said, now it's just a matter of getting him that coaching and getting him that offense coordinator, getting someone that can't be going, in and out every single year with a new offense coordinator. Get someone that he can, basically become friends with, and and put an offense that suits his abilities. And I think the Titans will be just fine.
Well, the one thing that goes for him, he's got good leadership ability. Again, just from everything I've seen, but the way he handles the press conferences, and he, early on, you kind of see that stuff. And as their careers go on, like what happens when things go south, and when things went south, I thought he all handled it pretty well. So I'm going to keep stock on him just because he has good attitude.
And he played, pretty much his entire rookie season. And it wasn't exactly, the prettiest of days down in Nashville. And he was able to, continue to play and, have some bright spots. So I think the Titans will be in good shape. It's just, like I said, it's just a matter of the coaching that he gets.
We'll have to wait and see. And there's still plenty of time to wait and see what it looks like. We still got to get to the Super Bowl, which is not this weekend, but the weekend following. It's the Patriots, not the Broncos, versus the Seattle Seahawks. We'll definitely have another week to talk about that. Raff, you're going to make your way back for the Super Bowl party?
No, unfortunately, I will be in Alabama watching with my beautiful wife. However, I'm thinking next week, of course, we have to talk some Nebraska basketball on Monday, but I'm thinking we're going to have some Super Bowl jam-packed shows. I'm thinking greatest Super Bowl in history, greatest Super Bowl performances in history, greatest halftime performance. We're going to have a bunch of Super Bowl shows next week. I've been thinking about it all night, and I think it has to happen. Super Bowl week on Raff's Good Take on Sports.
I like it. You kind of read our mind here. That's what we're going to start up with on the top of the hour. Me and Nick Wyman.
No, you thieves!
From the decade, thieves. From just the decade, just the
You're
last.
Stealing it. You're stealing it. Thieves.
You're right. We did. We were kind of listening into your thoughts there. Like, that's a good bit. We need to take it.
I knew it.
But man, it'll be a lot of fun. It's crazy to think there's not a lot of football left. So let's enjoy. Let's soak it in of the Super Bowl week. And Raff, I think we can find a workaround. I think we'll just put you We'll get a laptop. We'll give you the stream link, and we'll get an HDMI cord, and we'll just hook up the HDMI cord to one of the TVs at the Buffalo Wings and Rings, and you could just be watching on TV with all of us.
Waving at everybody.
Yeah, we'll have your audio off, but you could just sit there. So people know that you're present and still with the ticket. With that being said, though, we do got to throw it the break. Don't go anywhere. 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Winter is upon us. Is your home prepared? If your furnace isn't keeping up or you've thought about replacing it, John Henry's has a new year, new unit special. When you purchase a select heating and cooling system from John Henry's, we will give you the furnace for free. There are also equipment and LES rebates up to an additional $850. This offer expires February 28th, so don't miss out. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. Premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Way out there where the sun comes up under the big red sky, I do life the way I love, with family by my side. I feel home with me, no matter where I go.
Proud of where we're from, excited for where we're going. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back in. Final segment of Raff's Good Take on Sports, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Time for Raff's Good Take on life in general. We'll get a comment here, Raff. We got people pulling from you to get down here to Lincoln. You got Bruce Davis saying, Raff, one of my favorite ticket personalities, such a great guy.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Big Alabama State slicker. Can't come back to Lincoln,
Oh,
Nebraska.
I was just there last week. Come on, Harrison. Ralph, that's a Ralph's roadie right there.
That is a Raff's roadie. Raff, I just like giving you a hard time. But I do know that the ticket listeners do miss you. So I want to shout out Bruce Davis because he's not the only one with that opinion. So, Raff, yes. What do you got? What is your good take for January 29th, 2026?
All right, everybody. Today's Ralph's good take goes out to the one, the only, Ricky C. Simmons. It is Ricky's birthday today. Ricky, all-time great Nebraska Husker. Just the peaks and valleys of his life that he's went through. Just how he's just doing such great things for the community, for the youth. I mean, just an inspirational story of how one person, turned his life around 180, 360 degrees. So Ricky, I just wanted to wish you a very happy birthday. It's just another day in paradise. And you are Raff's Good Take.
Are you just the birthday guy? That's twice now. You did it with Luke, and then on air was like, oh, let me text Luke of the Mill, happy birthday. And now with Ricky C. Simmons, I'm like, oh, okay, let me text Ricky C. Simmons. Are you the guy in the group that just remembers everyone's birthday?
Well, I try to, my Raff's Good Takes. I try to find something, in the community or somebody. And it's just like with Ricky, I mean, what he does in the community, what he does all over the United States, going and talking and telling his story. I mean, the story is one of the most powerful stories. If you have a business, whatever, and you want him to come speak for you, you definitely want to get in contact with Ricky because the story is just so powerful. It's extraordinary. You got last night you had Chris Diebler, Mr. Diebler, Dr. Diebler, just a great influence, somebody that's so powerful in the city of Lincoln, through all these years being a principal and a teacher. And then another guy that comes to my mind, I got a message from him this morning, Willie Miller, came out with his new book. Just if you haven't heard Willie's story, that's another person just where he's went through. I mean, he was at the top, he was the toast of the town, fullback for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Things kind of, went a little crazy there for a while. And Willie pulled himself back up, lost a ton of weight, and just, changed his life around. And just amazing people. And it's just like, there's so many people, in Lincoln and surrounding areas and stuff that I know there's a lot of bad going on in this world. I get that. I'm not blind to that, but I also tend to hang on. I believe that there's still a ton of really, really good people out there, and Lincoln, Nebraska is lucky to have, several of those people that just do anything for anybody and want to help. And they're willing to share their stories of, they've, I hate to say it, but they went through some really bad things, and some of it, was self-inflicted, but they were able to pull themselves out of it, and they're willing to go out and, spread the word, and they want to help. And that's one thing, I just love about Ricky is just how he wants to help people. And that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it is probably one of the best things about the ticket, Raff. I will say, you work in a business like this, it's sports radio. You feel like sports radio has like from the outside looking in, like an ego kind of perception where you think maybe a lot of these people are kind of high on themselves, got a lot of ego. Man, it's like the nicest people I've met have come through the ticket. Ricky C. Simmons, every time I hear his story, never gets old. And again, seriously, contact him if you just want to get people fired up for life and to just love living life in general. He's got an R-rated version. He's got a PG-13 rated version. And he says that all the time. So you can bring him, to a classroom, but you can also bring him, to your point, a business with grown adults, and he can cut it however you want. Terrell Farley's the same way. He's opened up, and he's great and how he helps people. We got Fitness Fanatics. Jeff Essink, he uses his, like, he was denied health insurance because his body fat percentage was so high. And, that's not always a fun thing to tell everyone. Like, yeah, I got denied life insurance because I was that unhealthy. But all those guys hop on the airwaves and share that stuff publicly, all to just try to help other people out. So Ricky C. Simmons, Raff, I will double down on that. Tune into him every Sunday night. He is truly one of the greater guys in the community. We're lucky to have him for as long as we've had here at the ticket, and just the city of Lincoln and every place he's visited as a great individual. And then shout out for Tom Osborne for allowing all that to happen as well. Because I know Ricky C. Simmons would be remiss if he didn't also credit Tom Osborne for a lot of the turnaround that he was able to have. And now he's in a position to share with everyone else.
That's for real. That's the real deal right there. So yeah, there's so many great people in Lincoln, Nebraska. I mean, even Harrison, you're an amazing person in Lincoln, Nebraska, spreading the good word every night.
That's what I tried to do. That's why I did sports, not politics. We can have a lot more fun and smiles and laughter. We're just talking sports. That is Chris Raff. I am Harrison Arns. Don't go anywhere. Late night with myself, Nick Wyman, 93.7 Ticket. We'll be right back.